California has always been a land of dreams, sunny beaches, the Golden Gate Bridge, Hollywood magic. Millions visit every year, drawn by this image of paradise, fueling a massive travel industry. But a different reality is emerging between these landmarks. Homelessness is no longer hidden, tents-lined sidewalks, people live in cars near luxury hotels. The contrast between postcard California and the streets is impossible to ignore. The dream is interrupted by a difficult truth. Homelessness is now part of the daily landscape. Visitors and residents alike must confront what's happening to the Golden State. This isn't just about appearances, it's a human crisis unfolding in public view. The tarnished welcome mat signals that the foundation of the California dream is cracking. The crisis is now in the shared spaces that define California for the world. To truly grasp the depth of California's crisis, we must begin by talking about fentanyl, a drug that has quietly but powerfully changed the landscape of our cities. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Just a few grains, barely enough to cover a penny, can be lethal. Its potency is unmatched, and its danger is often invisible. Cheap to produce, easy to smuggle, and often mixed into other drugs without users' knowledge, fentanyl turns every dose into a deadly gamble. People may think they're taking something else, but a hidden trace of fentanyl can be fatal. Overdose deaths have soared, especially among the homeless, who often use drugs to numb pain, trauma, or the harsh realities of life on the street. For many, fentanyl is both an escape and a constant threat. With no safe places to go and little access to medical help, an overdose can strike anywhere, on park benches, at bus stops, or right on the sidewalk. The risk is everywhere, and help is often too far away. Fentanyl's presence has turned what was already a severe housing crisis into a full-blown public health emergency, affecting not just individuals, but entire neighborhoods. Emergency services are stretched to their limits, responding to overdose after overdose. Hospitals and first responders are overwhelmed, and the community lives in constant fear of the next tragedy. The unpredictability of fentanyl adds a new layer of danger to life on the streets. No one knows which dose will be their last, and anxiety hangs heavy in the air. This isn't just an individual problem, it's a threat to the entire community. Families, children, and local businesses all feel the impact as the crisis touches every corner of society. Fentanyl has transformed California's homelessness crisis into a daily life and death struggle, one that plays out in plain view on our streets, sidewalks, and public spaces. The poison is in plain sight, and its impact is devastating, leaving families shattered and communities searching for answers. The stakes have never been higher. The fight against fentanyl is urgent, and the future of California's communities depends on what we do next. Fentanyl's grip is changing the very atmosphere of California's cities. Famous streets now see more public health emergencies, people in distress, overdosing, or unresponsive. This isn't about judgment, but about the stark reality of addiction's impact on public spaces. Tourist hotspots and business districts are epicenters of the crisis, unsettling visitors and locals alike. Public spaces meant for everyone become tense and unpredictable. Local businesses suffer as customers avoid areas they no longer feel safe in. The economic health of neighborhoods erodes quickly when safety and cleanliness decline. Urban decay accelerates, graffiti spreads, public spaces are neglected, and community pride fades. Police and emergency services are stretched thin. The city's character is altered, its vibrancy replaced by anxiety. California's cities risk becoming defined by crisis, not creativity. The soul of these places is at stake. For travelers, California is supposed to be an escape, but the reality of the crisis brings fear. Overdoses and erratic behavior are frightening, especially for families. Tourists stick to sanitized attractions, avoiding authentic neighborhoods and missing the real California. Negative experiences spread quickly online, damaging the state's reputation. Yet alongside fear, there's compassion. Witnessing suffering up close is deeply moving. Visitors feel conflicted, wanting a pleasant trip, but unable to ignore the pain around them. Guilt and helplessness set in. Should you help, or will it make things worse? The emotional weight lingers, tainting even the most beautiful sights. A vacation becomes a lesson in society's hardest problems. Travelers leave not refreshed, but troubled. The California dream feels out of reach for everyone. Maria had dreamed for years of showing her son the magic of Hollywood, the glimmering stars, the iconic sights, and the promise of possibility. She worked extra shifts, saved every dollar, and finally, their long-awaited trip became a reality. But when they arrived, their excitement was quickly overshadowed by scenes of suffering and hardship. Instead of spotting movie stars or taking photos with famous handprints, they found themselves having difficult, honest conversations about homelessness, addiction, and the realities that so many face on these very streets. David, a longtime Venice Beach shop owner, remembers when the boardwalk was filled with laughter and music. Now, every morning he sweeps up drug paraphernalia and discarded needles, a daily ritual that weighs heavily on his heart. He's lost count of how many times he's called 911 for overdoses right outside his door, each call a reminder of the crisis unfolding around him. His business suffers as tourists, once eager to explore, now hurry past, their faces marked by fear and sadness, leaving the sidewalks emptier than ever. Sarah, who once arrived in Los Angeles with a guitar and big dreams of a music career, found herself homeless after a string of bad luck, lost jobs, rising rents, and a city that felt less welcoming with each passing day. She nearly lost her life to a fentanyl-laced pill, a single moment that changed everything. Only the quick action of a stranger with naloxone brought her back, a small act of kindness in a world that often looks away. Now, Sarah lives in constant fear, of the streets, of the drugs that threaten her life, and of a future that feels uncertain and fragile. Paramedic John in San Francisco has revived the same people again and again, sometimes in the same week, feeling the weight of a crisis that seems endless. He wonders if things will ever change, as tourists watch in horror, their memories of California forever altered by what they witness. These stories reveal the crisis's true human cost: pain, fear, and, against all odds, resilience and hope that things might get better. The sidewalk is where dreams and reality collide, where the promise of California meets the struggles of everyday life. Everyone, resident, visitor, or first responder, is touched by this crisis, their lives intertwined on these busy streets. The California story is being rewritten every day, shaped by the people who walk these sidewalks and the choices they make. One encounter at a time, hope and hardship meet on the sidewalk, reminding us that every story matters. There is hope. Other communities have made real progress, showing us what's possible. The Housing First model, proven effective in places like Houston, gets people into stable homes before tackling addiction or mental health challenges. Stability is the essential foundation for recovery and lasting change. Harm reduction saves lives, naloxone should be everywhere, and safe consumption sites connect people to help and support. More addiction and mental health treatment is critical. Outreach teams must meet people exactly where they are. When someone seeks help, it must be available immediately without delay. Community involvement matters. Volunteers, job training, and safe spaces help break isolation and build hope. Cities like Lisbon show that decriminalization and integration truly work. These solutions require investment and a shift from judgment to collective care and responsibility. The path forward is clear if we choose compassion and take action together. California's future isn't set in stone. These scenarios are a warning, not a certainty. The choices we make today will shape the path ahead for generations to come. This crisis tests our humanity, our compassion, and our willingness to help those who've fallen on hard times. It asks us to look beyond ourselves and reach out to our neighbors in need. The first step is seeing the problem clearly, without stigma or judgment. We must recognize the reality on our streets and open our eyes to the suffering around us. Every person on the street has a story. Trauma, hardship, or illness led them here. Behind every face is a history of struggle, loss, and resilience. Fentanyl is a poison, not a moral failing. Addiction is a disease, not a choice, and it can touch any family, in any neighborhood. Awareness must lead to action. Support local organizations, volunteer your time, donate resources, and demand proven solutions from our leaders. Small acts of kindness can create ripples of change. Vote for policies that treat this crisis with urgency and compassion. Use your voice to advocate for real, lasting change. Encourage businesses to be part of the solution, partnering with communities to create opportunities and support for those in need. The soul of California is in its people, not its landmarks. Our strength comes from unity, diversity, and shared hope. A crisis for the vulnerable affects us all. When one of us suffers, our entire community feels the impact. We can let despair define us, or we can build a future of safety, dignity, and recovery. Together, we can create a California where everyone has a chance to thrive. Let's choose courage and compassion, standing side by side to lift each other up. Let's restore the California dream for everyone, ensuring hope and opportunity for all who call this place home.